again, we're going to take a look at our second tool that's really useful in spring for the first rotation. So we've already done our spring rotation planner, and you can take a look at our social media to see that. But alongside that, it's really useful to do a grass budget. So how do we get into our grass budget? So again, we log into PastureBase Ireland desktop and go to our left hand side towards farm management, and here we select our first option, grass budget. So you can have previous budgets done, but we want to start a new one, so we're going to say add new feed budget. So we're going to say 2026 online. So the start date will again say maybe is Friday, and the end date is the last Friday in March. So the farm cover at the start date, we're going to say we're on target 1100, and the region to use, I'm just going to select Munster. You can add in extra stock if you want to, if you have others on the platform. So all options are available there. So at the moment though, we're just going to look at spring milkers. So we can save. So what we're going to do is you can see automatically there needs to be a bit of work done here on the PastureBase. So what we can do is we want to know our calving interval. So I'm just going to put in a rough estimate of what's going to be happening on farm. So say we're going to have 30 calved, 50, 70 calved, 100, 120, 140, 160. So we can, once we've that done, we're going to update it just so it updates our figures across. Now we're going to say that these cows are calving. So this will help us set our feed intake. So you can see for their week 1 in lactation, the cows are going to be allocated 12 kilos of grass. So we'll recalculate, okay, and then we need to update again for our figures to be coming in. And just note here the predicted growth as well copies in from when we selected Munster as our area. So you can see this is a full allocation of grass here for 30 spring milkers. This isn't what will normally be done on the farm. There normally be some meal going in, so what we're going to do is allocate 3 kilos of meal for the first 6 weeks and see the effect that this has on our cover. Update. Yep, so we can see here the effect that including meal has on our predicted farm cover. So what will happen is we want to keep an eye here on our actual farm cover to see are we staying on target or not, and the target is to get down to about 650 again for the start of the first rotation. So potentially we can reduce meal in here as we're going on, so we can just edit that and see the effect that it has on to date. Yeah, and it's just dropped our farm cover again. So look, I suppose there's a feed budget is very individual to farms, but it is very useful to see what you should be allocating in terms of grass and how much meal should be going in, especially if you're off target. So next I'm going to show you a farm that's slightly off target for budget, but just to show you a few things that are useful here if you want to extend the feed budget. What you can do is extend, you click the amount of weeks you want to extend by. So yes, we can extend by 1 week. So again, this copies over, we've got 1 more week in, and that will bring across the exact figures here, and we can update. And you can see we're on target here for 650 towards the end of March, once we've updated our budget by a week. And then if you want to get an idea of what level of feed will be going in, so we've no silage allocated at the moment, but if you were allocating silage, it would let you know how much you were putting in. We're putting in about 8 tons of meal and 73.5 tons of grass. Okay, so once you've updated this, similar to the spring rotation planner, you can close the budget and it will give you your active budget. You can change the active budget to whatever you wish, and once you synchronize on farm, that will give you an idea, or synchronize on farm, the budget then will again be available on your offline app.